Everyone, it's Alex and Gio from Radd.
Yo!
And we're here today to go over the XM Studios Colossus. We're going to give you the pros, the cons, and to let you know what we think about it. So, keep watching.
Boom. Yo, like Alex was saying, we're going over the XM Studios Colossus piece. This is an edition size of 450 pieces, so it's one of the rarest Colossuses that you can buy. As you can see, it's absolutely colossal. It's absolutely massive. It was actually quite shocking unboxing this because I'd never seen the prototype, so I just bought the piece. Really happy with this. So let's talk about the character. So if you don't know already, Colossus is one of them. Appeared in the first X-Men, Giant X-Men number 1.
Giant X-Men number 1.
And his real name is Peter Nikolaevich Rasputin. You know his special
Created
powers.
by David Cockrum.
Cockrum?
Yeah.
Cockrum? Okay. Not Cockrum.
Cockrum.
Okay. But if you don't know, he sort of like can change it. He can change his. He looks human, and then he changes his body into this sort of like metal-like thing. It isn't quite. It isn't like adamantium.
It's chromium.
It's chromium, yeah, something like that, yeah. But he changes into that, and that's pretty much his power. He's like a bit of a gentle giant, really, to be honest. A lot of people have got more into it since the Deadpool movie came out, which is brilliant in that.
Yeah.
The film in that, he's probably the best depiction of him in film. So really good. Now I picked this up, managed to get a good deal on this, and managed to grab this before they were all sort of sold out. I've got to give a mad thanks as well to Benjamin Toe again for the amazing service. Is it Cosmic Chase? Cosmic Chase. If you're interested, go hit him up. He's a very reliable guy to deal with. So I've had this in my collection a while. Sorry, mate, ain't been on point doing these videos. Been very busy. We'll start off at the base. It's actually is a bit of a bitch to put together, to be honest. It's for an OCD person like me that suffers a little bit with detailing and how I want things to look. This is a real pain in the nuts.
Quite unfortunate.
I did speak to a collector recently who purchased this and had some issues with this particular frame that goes in the back there.
Ramon?
It might have been Ramon, yeah, that's right. Good shout. He had some issues. His come broken, which could have been transit or could have been when it was being QC checked by whoever had it. They actually snapped it, it could happen. The best advice, if you ever get anything like this and it looks a little bit warped, sometimes when they've been in the box, they've kept in storage, or they've been in a transit like a tanker or something, and they've been traveling overseas, it gets really hot and things do move. There's a really good video watching how XM deal with Moon Knight's cape, and it's exactly what you should follow. So get onto that and have a little look at that. Basically, they get like a bowl of very hot water, like a big bowl of water. I don't know if it's boiling. I would say boiling is fine. And they stick it in there, and then when they pull it out, it's a bit more What's the word?
Malleable.
Malleable. That's the right word. Hold on. And you can sort of adjust it, because the way that this goes is it's basically like 3 pieces, and the magnets sort of connect to them. So if one is off, it's going to pull away from it. If you try and force it back, you're going to snap it, especially if it's cold. So what you want to do, put them all in hot water, start manipulating them into their spot, and then basically you'll have exactly what you need to do.
It depends on the piece. I mean, sometimes you can use a
hairdryer.
Obviously, you need to be sensible. The problem is common sense.
The problem is with a hairdryer, this particular frame, it's like I said, it's 3 pieces, right?
No, but I'm saying...
So you can't heat one area and move it because it's too big. You want to get it in, and then you put it into its base, and then get the other bit in and sort of manoeuvre them together. That's the way it'll work.
Well, I'm just saying with certain other pieces like capes or something like that, you may be able to get away with a hairdryer.
Hairdryer, yeah. I mean, you can always try that first, but I with this, it was ever so slightly out. So I gave it a light bit of manipulation, and it was fine.
But you have to...
sometimes they're violently out, so you have to be aware.
The problem is you can't really assume that everyone has common sense. So you have to sort of say...
Well, I'm going to assume that they do. If they fuck that up, that's their problem.
Well, clearly don't put your hand in boiling water, and clearly don't put the hairdryer touching the item. And
clearly don't fucking microwave your sandwich or whatever while you're in the bath. I mean, do we need to do this?
Well, I don't know. I'd be surped. Radd told me
to put boiling water. I just stuck my hands in. Oh. Okay.
This is a shameful and reckless use of your powers. You will both be coming with us.
So yeah, the way this sort of works as well, there's no switch up portrait or anything like that. you have to basically thread these really
Cables, yeah.
like thick cables through both of the hands, and gauntlets come off, and then you sort of got to put it through both and then sort of maneuver it before you attach it to the body.
Those cables are nice.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to say to somebody on Instagram the other day when they were asking about the Apocalypse ones. They were saying, I'm not sure about, they look like they're going to break. I was like, they'll be like this.
Yeah.
That's what they'll be like. They'll be like, literally, you can manipulate that however you want to.
They almost look like something you would have at the back of a cooker.
Yeah.
You know, like, or even a shower.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of design.
They're very malleable. You know, you can pose them. You know, I put a little bit of a bend. Some people have that quite straight. I put a little bit of a bend, a flow in mine, and then I like these to sort of come out and sort of like in all three directions. So I think it adds a little bit of flair to it.
So we go back down to the base. So what's going on in the base? What's the story here? So
it's sentinel parts as normal.
Bit of rock, reed bar coming through.
This base is actually done really well. It's got a lot of different paint, and it's
I'm not sure what part of the sentinel that is.
Well, they have this argument all the time. The funny thing is that I've actually been into the XM office, and so have you, where they've actually got all the parts of the Sentinel, and they pull them out and put them on each base.
No, there's actually there's concept sketches where they actually have the Sentinel on.
They have the whole Sentinel thing with all the parts of it, and they take an element out and put it as base. So this will be a part of the Sentinel. It looks like some type of motor or something going on there. Yeah, this thing is like almost separate. There's like a big gap through it, so it looks like something that's like a chest plate.
This looks like something would be in the middle of the chest. Is it an eye?
Could be an eye. Looks like an eye.
It's a bit big for an eye.
Yeah, but they can be giant. You can mess with that with how big.
Yeah, but I do like. That's one of my favourite parts of the base. Is
shame it doesn't like
the lens. Yeah, like a flicker.
Like a flicker. Like you can put something in there to make it do that, but
I like that. I do like the way you kind of see inside.
The translucent resin thing is really good with the scratches and the dents on it. They come in different parts.
And then this you could easily put, because that comes out, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
So what you can do is take that out and actually find a small like LED light, like they have on the. Even if you have, do you know what you can do? I mean, that's red. We could try that, because I've got one. But you could try putting the original eye from the Wolverine in the centre. I know it flashes red, and then see what that looks like in there.
It's quite big though.
No, that would go in there.
Probably.
I think that would go in there.
I'm going to tell you this one more time. You see my stuff? Don't touch my stuff. You understand this?
Sorry.
I really don't like the fact that you just feel quite comfortable to just stick your dirty, stinking, E.T. looking fingers in my shit.
I like the way you corrected that, because you were going to do some anti-Semitic.
I was going to go well due with you. Is that fucked now? Because that doesn't look like it's sitting right.
That's not right.
See, you took it out and now you've put... Yeah, oh no. Why? Why would you do that?
You touch my stuff.
I don't touch your stuff. I leave your stuff alone. Don't touch... Jesus.
Does the other one come out then?
Yeah, don't touch it. Gee, the thing is, as well, is you think because you work for them and you just get a replacement that I'll be happy with a broken shit while you sort that out for me. The answer is no. I took massive care with gloves on to put my stuff together, and you just come over and go, "Oh, this is nice."
I do think that the working for them does give me a false confidence.
It really doesn't mean you're getting it. I really want Mike over here, to be honest, because Mike's not going to touch anything.
Especially when not everyone likes me in the office.
Yeah, that's right. No, we don't have any. But So, all right, we go around. This brickwork as well comes out as well. And
do you think that's a better scale than the, like on the anti-venom and all that kind of stuff, where Prime One done a lot of brickwork, which has been questionable?
I think they're probably a tad big. I think they're a tad.
These aren't brick.
They're more like breeze.
Kind of like a brick, but they've got like a breeze block style.
Yeah, they're a breeze block style, an orange one.
They should probably be grey, but then if they were grey,
the contrast would look right. There's a lot of sort of metallic colours in here, blues and bronzes and stuff. This brickwork actually separates this really nicely. Yeah. It's really well done. And Pete, there is a criticism of this piece that the feet are a little bit small, but to be honest with you, I don't really know if they're too small. It's a hard one, really. Might be a little bit.
That wasn't me. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is it?
I don't know. It is a hard one. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's like massively tall. They don't look like massive feet. Maybe they could have been a tad bigger. Maybe. I mean, if you look at it from
in times of by 4,
it's not something that I'm noticed. It doesn't jump out at me like, oh my god, his feet are really small. People like to say that. When you look at this sort of angle of this foot here, I don't think so. He looks like, I don't know, it looks like in relation to the size of his body in his hands, it don't look far off.
I think it's clutching really. It's something that I wouldn't even looked at. I mean, I've looked at this piece many times and it's not
it's not something that jumps, it doesn't jump at you. I do hit online or if the feet were bigger, but I mean... But
then there's normally people who have never seen it in person.
Oh, 100%.
Because when you have things...
And they've got the crap Sideshow one.
Well, they've got agendas, you know.
They've got other ones, so it's like, that's the reason not to buy it. Not the price, not the expensive shipping or any of the real stuff. It's always feet are a tad small.
You move up, so then you got his little feet, which have got the leathery effect, and then you kind of move into the chrome, which is almost like an Iron Man look to it.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. It's got the same sort of folded armour almost as well, sort of in layers that go up the thing. And great contrast in that.
Nice
great
weathering,
colours.
nice scuffage. I do like that. And then you go into the actual elements of his body where you got the levels.
Another criticism that people have actually as well, and what they've said is that the lines don't marry up. So basically, some people will do it where they sculpt the muscle and then the lines will just go in a straight line all the way around in circles. You understand all the way around it. Yeah. But the way XM have done it, their style
is functional.
Well, what they've done is they've done the lines based on each individual muscle sculpt. So they've done lines there, lines there, lines there. They've not just gone all the way across it, so they're off. It's the same with the obliques up here and the lats. They don't link. It's the same with the waist. But I actually find that adds a lot to it.
Well,
I really like it
too, because if you were to add that line, and this is kind of like not action, but he's lunging forward. So you wouldn't think it would still be straight. If he was standing, maybe it would be straight because that's his like resting pose.
Yes.
But then if he's doing this, they couldn't move out.
Maybe. I just think as an artistic on an artistic level, I find that when I look up at it and I see it, it looks a little bit more pleasing to me. It looks a little bit more like like you can differentiate the muscle groups and you can see. You can see the sculpt on the muscles. Always find it. If you put like a big line going around everything, the line distracts you from the muscle. You can't really see the quads and your biceps and triceps. You can merge. You sort of see just lines running through it, and it makes it almost look like it's on a grid.
Yeah. And then you go into his kind of underwear, kind of pants. I mean, he's got great textures there.
Like the belt.
Great.
It looks like he's the heavyweight champion of the world belt. He's got like a
belt there.
Nice boxing champion belt.
Painted very clean.
Yeah, super
Some
clean.
boxing belts. Oh crap!
Yeah. No.
Some of them. I was watching. Who was it? I think that. What's his name? The one who knocked out Joshua.
Usyk.
Was that Usyk? Okay.
He didn't knock him out. He beat him recently.
But then his belts are well grabbed. They're like little belts.
He's got WBA.
But anyways,
IBF.
So yeah, you got like that. The belt going along there, and then you got the grey, the bit in the middle there with the yellow to contrast there. Done really, really well. Again. I like the forearm, inside the forearm guards. I like the textures there.
Well, they almost look like they're like Kevlar straps, and on the outside it's got the heavy metallic colours with loads of battle damage sculpt details in there, like bullet ricochets and stuff. This is a fucking
There's always that
piece.
kind of like debate.
This is such a fucking good piece.
There's always that debate though about characters like him or Hulk or like Gladiator Hulk or stuff like that. Is why do they need armour when they're armoured themselves? So why has he got these like armoured forearm guards and stuff?
Oh, Hulk does. Oh, right, because of Gladiator Hulk.
Yeah, he's got like all the padding on, but it's like
you want when you're designing a character, you're designing it aesthetically. You want it to look good aesthetically.
Well, obviously you don't want Hulk running around with his cock hanging out just because he's invincible.
Black Widow wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Hey,
big guy.
Sun's getting real low.
Sun's getting real low.
And it as well.
Sorry, my cock is blocking out the sun. I better put it back.
One of the things as well that don't get talked about enough is the teeth on this.
Probably one of the best sets of teeth I've got. Actually,
really clean, like really clean.
Dr. Nick, Dentist Nick, will love that.
Yeah, the teeth are really well done there. Does his head come off or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know.
I mean, this is.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Can I see?
Yeah.
That's really clean.
It's really good work, isn't it?
But the thing about it as well is, I say that it's really clean. I mean, the actual lines. I do like the way that he doesn't have the brilliant white.
Yeah, there's an enamel look in it.
That's one of the problems as well with a lot of things is where they do it like Hollywood, white Hollywood teeth, and he's got like the kind of the discoloration of the teeth are there, but the actual line work is really well done. It's a really nice head, and it's quite surprising the head comes off when there's not
That would be more to do with shipping than
of course.
alternates. I mean, there's only 450 of these worldwide, so less with the thingy-majiggy. But what you're talking about there is this is easily the best Colossus ever made. This is a fucking amazing piece. This was the second best piece I got in last year, and that's behind Hulk transformation, and that's close. I'm not joking when I say that. This Colossus, probably, if you liked Colossus a little bit more than the Hulk, you would say this was a better piece. I promise you, it had nothing to do with. I like the Hulk more, so the Hulk gets the nod because I have a bit more of appreciation for it. But might grab the door for me, mate. Will you? I have a little bit more appreciation for the Hulk for that reason. But in terms of statues and how it's made and everything else, this is up.
But I do think, though, I mean, there's some really strong elements on it. I mean, I really like the articulation and the way that looks. Where he's just about to lob that, like about swinging it around.
Just swing it on top of someone, isn't it? His hands are up there and this one's down, so he's going that way, over the top.
That's really cool. Really
you can
cool.
also make it tighter. Like I have it where there's a little bit of thing just because of comfort. The tighter this goes to this hand, the more it puts pressure on. And
would you be worried about any scuffages or anything with that?
If it's inside, these are quite coarse, so they definitely, if you're pulling them through, you're definitely going to start affecting some of the paint on the inside.
Definitely.
Truth be told, though, it's not something I think anybody should worry about because it's nothing you're ever going to see.
Yeah,
you will never ever see it. Because you're never going to take these out of there, and it would look completely retarded if you did. So it's
just maybe like if you're going to put it together, just take your time and
this is one
just
of them pieces.
Maybe do it with.
This is not a piece that you get in right, and you wait till 10 at night, and you're like, now I'll do it.
Well, no,
that is not this piece. This piece is you get up and you get yourself some breakfast, you have yourself a coffee, you sit down on your own, and you get this done.
Well, I'm saying maybe have someone else there because sometimes when you are. Like, for example, if you've threaded this one through and you're doing that, you get tunnel vision.
The way to do it is not like that. So the way to do this actually comes off, right?
Okay.
So you take this off, it comes off, it unpegs, and you take the gauntlets, and so you have these cables and this piece are together, right? Then you have the two gauntlets. You thread the first gauntlet, which obviously will be this one. That's one that goes in first. This one goes in second.
Yep.
Make these narrow. So like turn these into as close as you can get them, all three of them together, and basically move it across. Then when you've got it, you establish distance between each arm. So you have, obviously they'll both be in the cable, won't they? It's separate, flapping about, not connected. Yeah. Then you just say, right, this one's up near the top, this one's up near the end. You sort of establish it.
Do you want to take it out and show us?
No, I certainly do not. But that's the point. And obviously as well, like I'm trying to tell you, the more that you sort of pull on them and stuff like that, you can create tension, which will pull the magnets out. It's so strong. These cables are so strong that if you mess with it and it's too tense, it's going to pull the gauntlet out. So
really nice.
That's how you do it. You take your time with it. You get it all set, and you do that bit last. I would say. This doesn't need to sort of go on here. Just have this, and then do the point. That's the last piece that goes on when it's all ready.
Okay.
But for me, there's an argument for this being maybe one of the best pieces I got in last year. I definitely, when you're talking about this versus transformation, it's purely character appreciation that nicks it, because this is a very, very heavily detailed, very clean painted, very well sculpted, very well thought out design. So one of the best I have, I think, right out of the box. And I'm not looking at this and going, I might need to repaint X, Y, or Z or change anything. I don't need to. So very, very good job.
You got a lot of stuff in as well, so that's a high praise to make. All right, so we'll finish up there. Do the usual, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know if you got this piece in, or if you got the Sideshow piece in, and what you think the comparison of the two is. What you like and what you don't like.
No.
Well,
there's none. Don't waste your time commenting below telling me the Sideshow one better, because I'm just going to block you for being stupid. It's cheaper and it's easier to get hold of if you're from the US, but it is not a comparable piece. I've seen it many times, seen it in person lots of times, and it is not. It's like comparing like the best, steak that you've got to some fucking leather on the end of your shoe. Don't waste my time. Just saying. It's not a bad Colossus piece, but it doesn't compare to this. I actually think that maybe as well, probably the OG Sideshow one is quite a nice representation.
Especially,
other than the media,
well,
it's a
especially
very
what
nice.
Francois wanted.
It's a very nice. It's a nice job.
He re-sculpted it, didn't he?
I think they caught the physique better on the first one. The second one, they made it look like the movie from Deadpool a little bit. He's a bit thick and blocky. The balance of his physique is off in that. I've said it from pretty much day one. They don't capture the athleticism of him, and that's a problem. Because that's what you want. You know, you don't want everyone to be endomorphic. You don't want them to be thick, set, short-limbed, bulky. Yeah. You don't want that. When you're looking across your collection, you want a nice, a nice range. You know, athletic. You want a nice mesomorphic body, which is like a good sense of muscle, good thickness, but length. Yeah. There's lots of, and he's that. He's a proper athletic, so he's a mesomorphic body type. Really, really nice. Right. Anyway, peace.
Peace out. Bye bye.
Compare this to Sideshow's.